Right then, I am at the White Rabbit in Plymouth, and I'm joined by Steve Asheim from the band Deicide. How's it going, sir?
It's going really great. Thanks for coming out, man.
Well, no, I'm really looking forward to the show, actually. What have you got lined up for us? Something special tonight?
Well, we're going to give the people out here what they really don't want. That's one of Glenn's little joke sayings. But, no, I mean, we're going to break out a pretty good mix of our old stuff and a lot of new stuff, too. A lot of the stuff that's middle-aged. So.
Something for everyone, then.
Yeah, man. It'll be a good set.
Now, this tour is to promote your album, To Hell With God, your new album. How's that been received by critics and fans alike?
Yeah, critics seem to be liking it. They're not being too critical, which is...
always good.
Always good. Fans seem to like it, which is kind of the most important thing, They're the biggest critics of all. And, when we play the songs live, it's like they want to hear them. They know them. They're going over good. It seems like they're old songs. They're being accepted that way. So that's a really, really good sign.
Excellent. Now, the album was originally intended to be released in 2009. It was pushed back then to 2010, and now it's been released earlier this year, 2011. What was the reasoning behind that?
Well, I think it's tough to market something that isn't finished, and it's not very smart to either. You know what I mean? The record was never done, but they want to say that it'll be out by '09, and it's just certain things happen in production. It takes time, and I don't know. It's just a marketing thing. It happens a lot, but the record just wasn't done. It has to be done before we can put it out. We can't put it out before it's done.
Exactly. You mentioned the production there. It's produced by Mark Lewis, who, of course, famous for Chimera, Devil Driver, people like that. What was it like to work with him?
Mark is a good guy. It's interesting working with him, but he likes to text a lot during the sessions. It's a problem sometimes, but he's a good kid otherwise. But we'd work with him. I had worked with him on my Order of Any Odd Band sessions. That's how we knew. And those were small budgets, but he got great sounds for that stuff. And we knew we went over there with the Deicide stuff and a good amount of time and a budget. He was going to get a pretty far out sound, and he did, man. We were able to take time with tracking. It was comfortable out there working with those guys, relaxed setting. It's a bit of a drive, but it was worth it, man.
How much did he bring to the Deicide sound?
Well, he was kind of in charge of the overall. I mean, the drum sound was. I just kind of let him go for it. I was like, man, make the craziest drum sound you ever imagined, and he just did his thing with that. So I couldn't be happier with the drum sound. I think it was huge. Obviously, the guitar tones. I heard some complaints about guitar tone. Oh, it's not searing or heavy enough. Like the tone is too warm, but. The tone retains an audible quality. It's not, painful to listen to. I heard some criticisms on a couple previous records where it's like the guitar tone and the volume and distortion seemed maxed out, and it gets overly garbly sounding. So we tried to avoid that, but maintain a bigness in the sound overall, man. And so, yeah, man, he did a great job mixing and just making it huge sounding. I mean, it just sounds huge. You know what I mean?
How do you feel this album has progressed from your previous one, which is Till Death Do Us Part?
Till Death Do Us Part had a lot of potential to be a great record. We just didn't put the time into it, honing it the way we did with this record. It was like we didn't have everyone's full attention. Kind of, we had just enough attention to get it done, but. We try to avoid mistakes like that and make sure our next record after this one is not decent one. We want to make it at least as good as Till Death and really fucking step it up twice in a row,
Okay, now I guess you've been asked this quite a lot, but your songs and albums, they have a distinctly anti-Christian theme running through them. Do you, as individuals and as a band, are you at all religious in Satanism or Christianity, or atheist, or where do you actually stand on this point?
It's probably pretty obvious that we bash organized religion openly and whatnot, and So, I mean, I still stand by that. I'm not affiliated with any worship group. I don't plan on ever being. I just see it as for me personally, waste of time. And, but I have stuff to do with my time, so maybe other people don't. I don't know. I don't want to judge at this age. When I was younger, yeah, fuck her, But, people want to go wank themselves every Sunday. That is certainly their right. You know what I mean?
So yeah, the band's been going in one form or another since 1987 with the Modern Carnage. How has the band progressed, do you think, in that time? The sort of 2 decades really you've been going.
Oh well, yeah, sure. I mean, obvious ways, a couple band changes.
Has the sounds pretty much stayed the same?
Well, yeah, we progressed musically on our instruments, but our overall goal has been to be as heavy as possible. I think we've tried to retain that quality. And I think over the years, we've got 10 or 12 records or whatever it is, and, they're all pretty damn heavy, regardless of what was happening at the time. So I think we've at least stuck to our guns in that regard, and just stuck around, period, which is hard enough, looking around, Seems kind of, you take it for granted, it seems easy having done it. But, look at other young bands trying to get going and other bands trying to hold it together, and it's hard, man.
What sort of bands do you listen to yourself? What bands influence your drumming?
Oh, man, I still listen to the stuff I grew up on, early British heavy metal, some of the early death metal and stuff, 80s thrash. I listen to some classical stuff now and again. Either radio, sometimes talk radio, just what everyone listens to, man. I turn on the Sirius and just play whatever the local metal is. Man, but like I said, I prefer my oldies and shit, what I grew up on. Like anyone, man. You're stuck in your era. What your time was,
Definitely. Yeah. Okay, so getting back to the tour now, you've got a few more dates in the UK before moving into Europe. Now, how do you think Europe and UK compare to the American in the death metal scene? Do you think Britain has some contenders in death metal, or do you think America pretty much has it nailed at the moment?
Well, you mean as far as bands or the fans?
Both, actually, yeah, bands and fans.
Well, it's like a lot of times you go around and there's a lot of these cookie cutter black metal bands out where it's like every black metal band's intro sounds and looks just like Behemoth. It's like there's the spooky sample thing, and then everyone comes in with the big double bass part, and then it goes into the blast thing, and it's like every band is doing that. It's almost hard. It's like we're on tour with the same opening black metal band all across England and Europe and America and Canada and South America, dude. They're all the same at this point.
But the fans, how do they? Does the reaction change depending on which continent you're in?
Well, no. I mean, heavy metal and Deicide fans are all the same, man. You come out and they're stoked. They're ready for some metal. We give it to them. They love the songs. They chant the name if they're into it enough that night, and come the end of it, they're all slap happy and sweaty, and we drink beer with them, and like I say, regardless of the country or dialect or language, that's always the same, man. Everyone's wearing their black t-shirts. You can tell everyone apart in the crowd, man. Like I say, we were in Istanbul, Turkey, and we were going to the metal bar, dude, and we're in this bazaar and the typical Muslim this and that, but then you hear some metal coming from up the street, and there's a little area. Everyone's wearing their black T-shirts. You can tell them apart.
Excellent. We touched on the subject. You've been going for a good sort of 20 years now. What's been the highlight of your career, really?
Well, just keeping going. I've had some big gigs now and again. They're fun. Doing a big show. Getting a new record out that people don't hate, Yeah, it's the small things at this point, man. Just kind of the satisfaction of keeping going after all these years. It's like once you hit 20 years, something different happens to your career, and it's like Now it's all about nostalgia, and we can't believe you're still around. Go do some gigs just based on that.
Well, are you going to keeping on going? I mean, after this album cycle's done and you're finished with this tour, are you going to be back writing songs and back in the studio?
Yeah, sure. We owe Century Media a couple more records still, so we'll see if we can give them those records and then see what happens after that.
Have you started at all on the next album? Do you know have riffs ready?
No, I haven't
or
started at all, no. I've started playing guitar and stuff, but I haven't been saving any riffs or anything, no.
Yeah, you played some guitar on this album, didn't you, as well?
I wrote some riffs. I didn't play on the record, but yeah, man, I churned out some riffs.
Right, well, I'll leave you to get ready for the show now. I look forward to seeing you from the pit, really.
I appreciate it, sir.
So thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Cheers.